Si uko na renji. Unaishi Westi. Na dog yako anakula chakula ya 3k per kilo. Ebu relax kidogo, boss. Meanuhil, kwa ghetto watu wanakam kila siku, juu classism imekataa kuoga. Leo, tunabonga ukweli. Classism kwa Kenya imekuwa noma. Kuna wenye wako kwa soft life. Na kuna wengine wako kwa hard knock life, mpaka slippers imekataa. Lakini hii si story ya jokes tu, it's deep. So kaa rada. Kama uko na vits, boda, ama kama uko na renji.
Welcome to Candy Unplugged, where we unpack real issues, raw truths, and everything they whisper about in boardrooms and barbershops. Today's tea. Classism. Kenya's unspoken crisis. You know how it goes. 1 minute someone's bragging about their 3-bedroom in Kileleshwa, and the next, they're side-eyeing someone in a Vitz like it's a tuk-tuk. But let's be honest, classism isn't just vibes and flexes. It's a deep-rooted problem messing with how we work, live, love, and even how we treat the people in our homes. From soft life Instagram stunts that end in security risks, to bosses who think house helps should know their place. Classism in Kenya is hiding behind closed doors and flashy captions. So today, we are exposing the cracks. Not to shame, but to shift the narrative. Because whether you're in Runda, Rongai, or Kariobangi, we all deserve dignity. Stay tuned. Subscribe, like, comment and share. And as always, let's talk. No filters, no fear, just facts. Why classism is Kenya's silent epidemic. In Kenya, classism is a deeply ingrained issue that touches every layer of society. It silently shapes how people are treated, how they treat others, and how they see themselves. While many celebrate economic progress, upward mobility, and modern lifestyles, the divide between the wealthy and the struggling majority grows ever wider, fueling not only inequality but also resentment, social tension, insecurity, and even abuse. This article explores the hidden cost of classism in Kenya, from its impact on education and justice, to the dangers of flaunting wealth, and the tragic mistreatment of domestic workers. It also offers solutions to help break this destructive cycle. Understanding classism in the Kenyan context. Classism is the systemic oppression or discrimination based on social class. In Kenya, it is often seen in the form of economic elitism, where individuals are judged, valued, and treated based on their wealth, education, job status, or residential address. This has created a society where people from lower-income backgrounds face obstacles in accessing quality healthcare, education, job opportunities, and even justice. Meanwhile, the wealthy elite live largely in a bubble, protected from many of the struggles that define everyday life for the majority. The deepening divide, urban affluence versus rural struggles. In Nairobi, for example, the difference is visible. Affluent estates like Runda, Karen, and Kileleshwa boast private security, manicured lawns, and elite schools. Meanwhile, areas like Mathar, Mukuru, and Kibera grapple with poor infrastructure, overcrowded schools, and inadequate healthcare. These physical spaces mirror the psychological and social distance between classes. For many Kenyans, breaking into the upper echelons of society remains near impossible due to a lack of access to quality education, connections, or capital. Consequences of classism. 1. Social inequality and economic injustice. Classism drives inequality. Those born into wealth access better education, jobs, healthcare, and networks, while those born into poverty often remain trapped. This entrenched inequality creates discontent, breeding frustration that occasionally spills over into unrest, crime, and voter apathy. 2. Limited upward mobility. Despite Kenya's vibrant entrepreneurial spirit, class barriers make social mobility difficult. Without capital, mentorship, or market access, many brilliant ideas and talents never get a chance. It's not what you know but who you know is more than a saying, it's a system of exclusion. 3. Mental health and identity issues. Constant exposure to materialism and class-based comparison, especially on social media, leads to feelings of inferiority, shame, and depression among low-income individuals. Many people struggle to prove their worth, often going into debt just to keep up appearances or feel accepted in certain circles. When pride becomes a security threat, the danger of flaunting wealth. In Kenya, it's common to see individuals boast online or in public about where they live, what they drive, where they work, or which school their children attend. While this may seem harmless or even aspirational, it can have unintended consequences. 1. Targeted crime. Publicly sharing wealth makes individuals prime targets for criminals. Robberies, carjackings, and kidnappings have increased in cases where criminals learned about their victims' wealth through social media or mutual contacts. Criminals now use digital breadcrumbs to plan attacks. 2. Increased resentment. When people constantly flaunt luxury in the face of economic hardship, it widens emotional and social divides. Envy festers and can manifest in workplace tension, family fallout, or even public hostility. 3. Security risks in oversharing. Geotagged posts, live location updates, and photos showing luxury homes or travel plans can be used maliciously. Many cases of home theft and fraud begin with simple oversharing. Classism at home, the abuse of domestic workers. Perhaps one of the most disturbing expressions of classism is the mistreatment of domestic workers, especially house helps. Many employers, drunk on their perceived superiority, abuse their employees emotionally, physically, or financially. 1. Inhumane working conditions. Many house helps are forced to work long hours without rest, given minimal food, and paid exploitative wages. Basic labor rights like time off, healthcare, or humane treatment are often ignored. 2. Physical abuse and violence. There are countless stories of domestic workers being beaten or tortured. In some cases, young girls working as house helps have been assaulted or denied access to medical care after abuse. This brutality is often hidden behind the privacy of household walls. Example cases. A viral case from Nairobi involved a house help locked in a house for weeks without pay or food while her employer vacationed abroad. In Kiambu, a young girl suffered injuries after being beaten for not doing chores or fast enough. 3. The normalization of exploitation. Classist attitudes have normalized abuse in many homes. Some employers justify mistreatment by claiming they feed and shelter their workers. This attitude ignores the dignity and rights of these individuals, reducing them to subhuman status. How can Kenya dismantle classism? Addressing classism requires a multi-pronged approach rooted in systemic change, personal accountability, and cultural transformation. 1. Invest in equal access. The government must invest more in public services, particularly education and healthcare, to reduce disparities. Upgrading public schools, training teachers, and improving health centers will offer better opportunities for those from lower-income areas. 2. Enforce labor rights for domestic workers. Stronger protections for domestic workers are urgently needed. Employers who mistreat or underpay workers should face penalties. Organizations and activists must also educate workers about their rights and help them access legal support. 3. Educate the public on responsible social media use. We need public campaigns to encourage responsible content sharing. People must be aware of the security risks and ethical consequences of flaunting wealth, especially in a country with high unemployment and poverty. 4. Promote empathy and shared humanity. Cultural narratives should shift away from celebrating materialism to valuing community, integrity, and dignity. Schools, religious institutions, and media should all promote values of respect across social divides. 5. Create safe spaces for dialogue. Kenyans must have open, honest conversations about classism. Dialogue sessions across workplaces, schools, and online platforms can build understanding and foster unity. When people truly listen to each other's experiences, walls of bias and entitlement begin to fall. Conclusion: a call to consciousness. Classism is not just about money, it's about mindset. It's about believing one person is worth more than another because of what they own, where they live, or how they speak. This belief system is deeply harmful, not only to those who are marginalized but to society as a whole. Kenya cannot achieve true progress if it leaves large segments of its population behind. It's time to stop glorifying status and start humanizing people. That begins with how we treat our workers, how we raise our children, how we post online, and how we vote. A Kenya where dignity is not a privilege but a right is possible. But we must dismantle classism to build. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment and share. See you in the next video.